Today I'm going to show you how to do notation on 3x3 and 2x2. So with these two cubes, the notation is actually pretty similar, so I'm going to start with 3x3 first. So there are two types of ways you need to use notation. One is when you're doing algorithms and two is when you're doing scrambling. So when you're doing algorithms, you have to hold it however you're supposed to, but with scrambling, you should hold it white top and green front. So now I'm going to show you some basic moves. So basically, the top is going to be up, so that's going to be the U face. So then if we do a clockwise turn on the top face, it's going to be a U. And then if we do an anti-clockwise turn, then it's going to be a U prime. A prime is just going to be an apostrophe. Then there is also a U2. So U2 is basically turning the top layer twice, like that. Then besides U, there are also 6 other faces. There is also D, there is L, there is R, there is F, and there is B, all standing for down, left, right, front, and back. So the turns on each of the other 5 faces are basically the same thing. It uses the same logic. So if we have an F, it just means a clockwise turn of the front face. And if it's an F prime, then it's an anti-clockwise turn. And if it's F2, then it's going to be a double turn. So it's basically the same thing on all 6 of these faces. In scrambling, you would only need to know these 6 basic faces. However, in algorithms, there are some other moves you would need to know. So next, I'm going to explain slice moves. So slice moves is just turning a middle layer of the cube without moving the sides. So the first type of slice move is an M. This goes along the R and the L direction. So this is going to be the M slice, the one that I'm turning here. Because this is L and R, it's just the middle. And you're doing M turns. Then if you're going up, then it's going to be an M prime. And if you're going down, then it's going to be an M. And there is also going to be an M2. Now there are also 2 other types of slice moves. So this is the E slice, so it follows the U's and the D's. So if you're going left, then it's going to be an E prime, and if you're going right, it's going to be an E, and there is also an E2. The final type of slice move is the S. It is with the F and the B faces. So if you're going clockwise, then it's going to be an S, and if you're going anti-clockwise, then it's going to be an S prime. Now we finished slice moves, now let's move on to Y turns. So Y turn is basically turning 2 layers at the same time. It is actually the exact same notation, except you would either have a lowercase letter or you would have a W after the letter. So this is a lowercase u or a UW, and this is a lowercase u prime or a UW prime. The same applies for all the other 6 faces. So now the final type of notations you will see are cube rotations. So there are 3 different types of cube rotations: X, Y, and Z. So an X is just going to be turning the cube up, like that. An X prime is going to be turning it down, and an X2 is going to be turning it down or up twice, like so. There are also 2 other rotations, which is Y and Z. So y turns the cube left, y prime turns the cube right, and y2 does it twice. And then the z turns it clockwise, the z prime turns it anti-clockwise, and the z2 turns it twice. So that's pretty much it. You will see for 3x3 notation. Now 2x2 is basically the exact same things. So everything I said about 3x3 is true about 2x2. So except you won't have wide moves and you also won't have slice moves. So this is a U, this is a U prime, this is a U2. Then there's an F, this is an F prime, this is an F2, and same applies for all other faces. There are also still cube rotations as usual. But in a scramble, you will only see R, U, and F on a 2x2 scramble. This is because this is enough to scramble the whole cube. You do not need to do any B moves, L moves, or D moves to scramble up the 2x2. So that's it for this video on notation. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you found this information useful.